How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? You're back for round one, match 2 of the NWA Qualifier. Again, this is set to determine what two competitors will join the Ultimate Warrior to represent TCW in the Alliance title tournament. And we just had Tanahashi defeat Hulk Hogan in round 1, match 1, but Kenny Omega has thrown his hat into the ring as a participant in this tournament. But walking down the aisle now, the legend and founder of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Antonio Inoki. And this should be a very interesting matchup. The present versus the past. Inoki definitely has shown flashes of greatness. I've seen him perform in numerous tournaments very well. But Omega certainly has to be one of his toughest matches yet. And we saw Inoki lose to the Warrior for the TCW Ultimate title in that tournament. Whether he can see a reversal of fortunes tonight, we shall see. I'd be very interested in having him represent TCW for sure. I mean, both competitors, I think, would do TCW justice. So Omega went for a pin, but didn't even get a 1 count. I mean, if you've seen this roster, I wouldn't even say that this 8-man tournament really did justice. But here's another thing to keep in mind. This is merely to determine who will go in to try to snag the belt for the brand, okay? It'll be defended on TCW television once we win it, and pay-per-views. So, even though they're not in the qualifying tournament, and if they don't make it, it's very likely that they'll get a chance at trying to win it on our television, especially considering that we have the best workers and probably the best chances. If you look at my calculations, I mean, the Warrior has not lost a match yet, and while Inoki and Omega have lost, it was in razor thin, ultra tight, very competitive matchups. And I've seen so much greatness from both competitors as Inoki lands an enziguri there. You know, it will likely be a TCW versus TCW final, in my estimation. But, you know, anything's possible. Brandon and Charles are both great GMs, but I just, you know, there's only so much you can do as a GM, and, you know, unless they're gonna make like Shane McMahon and try to train him before the tournament. I just don't see it. But again, anything's possible. And I'm looking at these guys now, you know, in these first two matchups, and I just think that it's inevitable that we take it home. I really do. You know, and even while we have this Alliance title, you know, I think it'll be very interesting if and when we get the title. You know, be another prize for this just illustrious group of top talent wrestlers to fight after. And I know Warrior's got a long laundry list of contenders who are going to be gunning for that ultimate title. So potentially this Alliance title could take some heat off his back. But if he wins the Alliance title, man, he's going to have the whole roster knocking at his door day and night, that's for sure. But again, there's going to be 7 other competitors, both itching to win the Alliance title tournament. And look at the strength of Omega. This certainly could be the match of the night, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you got your eyes peeled for this one. Like and subscribe if you like the action, if you're excited about the developments in Battle of the Bookers, as the name I've been calling it. Certainly like and subscribe to stay tuned for what's going on in that. I've had 3 weeks of programming for TV shows that I've booked with this roster and the pay-per-view. If you haven't checked it out, I certainly didn't spoil too much. And the last 3 matches are absolute must-see matchups. So definitely check them out if you didn't already, and keep up to date with the stuff. And look at that mat wrestling there. You know, Omega is facing perhaps one of the legends of wrestling. I mean, in the 80s, Inoki was synonymous with wrestling in Japan. Possibly as big as Hogan, and wrestled in front of the largest stadium crowd in North Korea. 192,000 people sold out in North Korea for the Korean Collision as Inoki headlined against Ric Flair. Not many people can say that Inoki and Flair can. Both members of the TCW roster. If you're not keeping your eyes peeled on this product, then you're not doing it right, ladies and gentlemen, as Inoki pins Omega for only a 2 count. And what a brain buster there by Omega. He's just scratching and clawing, trying to stay in this matchup.
You can't escape.
Look at that standing moonsault. Not moonsault, sorry. Look at that leapfrog bulldog. Try saying that 10 times fast. Those V-trigger knees could be the answer to Inoki's submission style. He misses it with the enziguri. Omega hits a step-up enziguri of his own. Inoki's just so dangerous from each and every single angle. But a super kick by Omega. Omega largely considered one of the very best in wrestling today. But he is fighting up a weight class as far as I'm concerned. I mean, Inoki is a legend of the business. A shoot fighter. Certainly one of the greatest of all times. And he goes for the pin there and gets it. Inoki moves on to round 2. And what a display by both competitors here. A hard-fought bout. But Inoki just had just enough to edge out Omega there. Certainly won't be the last time we see these two cross paths. And the match evaluation says it all. It's a 5-star match in my books, that's for sure. Up next, we're going to have Brock Lesnar in action as he gets his rematch against Magnum TA. So be sure to stay tuned for that and watch the remainder of round 1 for this qualifying tournament.